It's a good morning, Ohio State Buckeye fans, as we are just a few hours removed from an awesome game between our Ohio State Buckeyes and the Grambling State Tigers. And today is a Sunday morning episode, and this is going to be the flow here as we're going live here just around 10 a.m. Eastern time. Got about 3 hours till the kickoff of the NFL season, which I don't know about you, but I can't be more excited about it. There's so much going on in terms of football, but we're in it, right? High school is in week 3, college now in week 2, NFL now in week 1, and we're so excited to be bringing you all sorts of content here. And want to start today's show. Obviously, this is going to be a film episode show. It's my favorite show of the week, where we dive into what happened yesterday when the Buckeyes had the football and when the Buckeyes were on defense. But some house cleaning things that we got to take care of. I referenced it a couple times. I'm sure you saw it. If you're a fan of the channel, if you're following along on the channel, sure that you saw it. But a new a new platform for us. We're moving on from the On SI platform and moving over to Roundtable Sports. An exciting time for our publishing group here. We're going to do just a little bit. But what I want you to do, and you're going to see it pop up here in the top corner. We got on this side, top corner here. I'm going to toggle it just so you can see it sliding across. I got a QR code up on the screen there. That'll take you right to our Buckeyes Roundtable page. And now when you get to this page, I'm not asking you to put any dollars down. I'm not asking you to do anything. It's totally free, just a new location for us. All you got to do is put your name in, make an account, and you join our community, right? And actually wanted to kind of pull it up here on our show here as people are jumping in, so you guys can all see it, what's going on here on Roundtable Sports. So want to pull this back in the wrong spot here, but we'll get to this. But for us, Roundtable Buckeyes, or Buckeye Roundtable, excuse me. It's going to take some time here for me to nail this down. But as I'm done clicking through that mess, you'll see kind of the home page here. And it's super easy to access, super easy to get to, and very similar to what we've had in the past, right? I got a story going right now about Coach Day's comments on Julian Sayin from yesterday. And you scroll down, you can see some tabs here, and you see a news tab, a game day tab, a players tab, an opinion tab. There's going to be a tab coming here outside of this called video, where all of our video content is going to live. Obviously, you're getting us on YouTube here. We'll still have a presence on YouTube, but ultimately want to move all of our video content over here. But what's really cool about our stuff on Roundtable here is obviously there's our premium stories, but there is a community section where we can post, you can post, I can post, we can get stuff going in here and start a bunch of conversation, right? That's one thing that we lacked on the prior platform, where couldn't interact with you well, just outside of the video work we do here. So all you got to do, go to our page. There's going to be a little button up top here that says log in. And all you got to do is jump in there, put your name in there, make an account name, and you're all set. The good part about Roundtable is that all of your teams can be accessed at one point. So this choose your team section right here. You click on it, and this takes you to the page we were just looking at. If it just loads here for me. There we go. So now you can see all your teams, right? Whether I know we're all Ohio State fans here. Let's land it on the Blue Jays page. Double click that on accident, but you can see it here. All your MLB teams are here. All your NBA teams are here. I see some NCAA teams, right? Bama's got a page. There's good partners with us. Obviously, here's our Ohio State Buckeye Roundtable. Let's get above them in members. Come on, let's get above them in members. I'm going to be filling this thing up with posts, right? I'm going to be kind of a name that you see a lot. You see the 23 posts here. We're going to be at 100 by the end of next week, by the time we play OU, and we're going to stack this thing with fresh content. But all sorts of college teams, all sorts of NFL teams. So you can get in there, you sign up once, and then you have access to everything. So really exciting stuff for me and our team here as we transition over to the Roundtable Sports Network. Okay, enough of that, right? Hit that subscribe or hit that QR code. It'll take you right there. There's going to be an app for it. You download it right on your phone. You'll get alerted every time I post a video, every time I post a story. And anybody on our team, we got a handful of writers who are contributing. But you didn't come here to learn about Roundtable Sports. What you did come here to do is learn about the Ohio State Buckeyes. And yesterday, I thought was fantastic. Okay, I really was. These games concerned me. I remember the former player in me hated these weeks because it's an inferior opponent. Your coaches are on edge. Like, I can guarantee you, practice was hell for all of these players this past week. The coaches don't want you reading the press clippings, especially after a huge win over the number one team in the country. They are going to knock you down and make sure that you come out on yesterday, and show that you're the best team in the country. And Ohio State did that. They started the game off so fast. That's the biggest thing. Like, you get into these types of games, and it gets weird when you go 3 and out or you have to punt. It just feels uncomfortable, feels awkward. Instead, Ohio State goes on 2 scoring drives within the first 5 minutes of the football game and just did what they needed to do, right? It was never the scoreboard. It was always the Buckeyes. And there's a lot of good that you're going to see in this film session here. What's really exciting to me is that we're going to focus a little bit on the starters, and then we're going to get into some of the young guys. And I'll call them out as we get to it here. So what I want you to do, I got my cup of coffee here, and I got a water here. It's morning time. Hopefully you got a bagel. Hopefully you're getting the kids all up and at them. If you're in between church and football, awesome. Thank you for joining me. Really do appreciate it. Hit that follow button on the, first of all, on the YouTube page, subscribe and like. Hit me on Twitter. Go over to Roundtable. You can access me everywhere. I'm going to be all into the football content here over the next couple of days. So we're going to dive into it now. We're going to pull this up. Let me get this screen shared, and we're going to be rolling. Sometimes it's hard. I know that you guys have all bared with me for a long time when I run these shows solo. I don't have a producer. So I'm my own producer in some cases, and we're going to be pulled up and ready to go. All right, here we go. First drive of the football game. And we're just going to go chronologically here, as we always do. Awesome job here. One of the things that you're going to see is when you see these types of games, between two teams that are overmatched, really the biggest difference is in here, right? It is in your offense and defensive line. And you'll see it here when Julian drops back to pass here on this first throw of the game. Like, no pressure at all. Like, that's the biggest thing, because guys are going to drop back and, they're going to be in their right positions, and you still got to tackle. And, yes, we're faster, bigger, stronger. But this is where you see the biggest difference. It's up front. And now Julian can sit back, get through his entire progression here. So he actually sweeps the field. He did a really nice job, and yesterday was really good for him to learn that, hey, when he does have time, his guys, you can get to progression 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and get all the way across the field. So this is a really nice route concept here. I don't know what they call it. In my terminology, calling it left to right, I would call this drive spot, and some variation of drive. Drive can be a backside concept. It can be a full field concept, but you're going to get this spot concept here where you get this curl route, and you get your running back into the flat, playing a little, trying to leverage the flat defender, which ends up being this cornerback. And then you're going to get a drive concept here where Jeremiah is going to be on a 10 and in. Your tight end, Will Kazmarek, is going to be in the flat. And then your receiver, I believe this is Brandon Ennis, is going to be on an in route, or he's got the option to sit it down. And you're going to read it like this. We're 1 here, 2 across the middle, 3 here, and then 4 to the bottom. Excuse my drawings. You can see Julian get through it. Bang. Look at it. He's up to the right of your screen. They do a nice job. Okay. Grambling does a nice job. The flat defender immediately jumps the swing route. The linebacker gets depth underneath here. When one area is vacated, you can swing back through. Julian sets his feet, realizes Jeremiah is going to be covered by 43, dropping back. Bang. Doesn't even hesitate. That was the most perfect part about Julian yesterday. There was no hesitation. He was on it. He was quick. His decisions were right, and he delivered the ball and delivered it accurately. He does throw a beautiful football, and that part is fun to watch. So now we roll. This is a nice little play here, a little gadget play. Use Brandon Ennis coming back across on this little reverse. He gets going up the field, finishes good with some toughness, moves the first down. All right, two now throws. I call these now routes. And what's critical here is there's a run play up inside, and Julian has the ability, if he's got numbers, if he sees numbers here, he's got the ability to throw this out here. What he's looking at is this guy right here. He's obviously splitting the difference, okay? He's splitting the difference here. And basically what Julian's saying is, I've got the numbers so that our receiver's this receiver, the point man, Jeremiah is going to block most dangerous, right? He's going to come out, he's going to kind of stutter, and he's going to block. If this guy triggers, he's going to take him. If this guy triggers, he's going to take him. And then the inside receiver takes what's left. So what you'll see is Jeremiah forms up there, bang. And this is so good. I'm telling you what, like this intricacy is unbelievable. You see this kind of twist release where Jeremiah gets here, and then I believe this is Brandon, goes on this loop, right? They're just reading each other, right? Brandon's reading what Jeremiah does. Jeremiah takes the most dangerous. Brandon gets out here. And what Julian decided was that number 6 was too far away from Carnell to make any type of play. So he throws it out there, and Brandon does a nice job, right? He gets 2. Or actually, it's Jeremiah, right? Most dangerous. He's going for the corner, right? He's going for the corner. The corner's continuing to zone off, zone off, zone off. Jeremiah's like, nope, most dangerous. Bang, I'm going to stick on number 6. Awesome job. Awesome job. And that's not Jeremiah. It looked like Jeremiah. That was Ennis. However, what's really important here by Julian is that throws on the upfield shoulder, right? When I say upfield shoulder, you'll see Carnell is looking like this. As a quarterback, I'm aiming for this part of Carnell. If I can throw it in this box, he can get momentum going up the field. If I throw it in this box over here, he is screwed because now he has to turn and go catch the football, and all his momentum's going backwards. Julian gives him a nice accurate throw. There's 9 yards. All right, here we go. Let's do it to the other side. Again, same exact thing. Okay, this one is more play action focused, and that's untrue. This is another RPO where Julian, his eyes, he's dipping low. He decided that this defender here is too close to the line of scrimmage, and this defender here is too far away. So he said, I got 2-on-1, right? I got a blocker, and I got Jeremiah Smith. Ball is out, and again, he's on that upfield shoulder, right? Here's Jeremiah right here. Bang, this ball needs to be on this half of him. It is. It's perfect. Jeremiah can catch, run, get upfield. I hate this hit that he takes. Man, I hate that hit. But regardless, gets up the field, moves the sticks. 2 really nice throws there by Julian Sayin. All right, the throw of the day, in my opinion, comes on the first drive, comes like 2 minutes into the game. So you're going to get a typical typical cover 2 look. All right, so let's draw this thing up. All right, let's start on the top of our screen. This is as vanilla as you possibly could get. This safety is going to be responsible for this deep half. This corner going to be responsible for the flat. Okay, this linebacker is going to be your hook defender, so he's going to be hook to curl, and that's going to be what it looks like there. All right, now on this side, you're going to get a half read, you're going to get a flat defender, and then this guy's going to have his eyes kind of in the backfield since there's only one receiver, but he's going to be that hook defender. So it'll ultimately look like this. Okay, looks like that. Now, this Mike linebacker, he's got the biggest responsibility on the field. Okay, he's got the biggest responsibility. He's technically responsible for all of this space. All right. This is the Mike linebacker spot. This is Tampa 2, right? This coverage became popular and known in Tampa Bay. That's why they call it Tampa 2. Now, the best place to attack Tampa 2 when you have an athletic tight end is right here. Okay, this is the best place to do it. You'll see it. If you watch NFL football today, you're going to see this throw several times, right? Here goes the safety. Here's the picture, right? Safety's flying off the hash. This safety's flying off the hash. This safety's buzzing the flat. This linebacker's out of the picture. He's going to turn and get hands here. This linebacker's eyes in the backfield defending against the run. Then he's going to sprint out, and we are one-on-one right in the middle. All right, quarterbacks are taught right now. If you see the back of this guy's head, your guy's wide open. He cannot see the football, and Julian sees that right away. He sets his feet and just rips this thing. Like, this is a freaking beautiful throw. They're going to watch this hopefully 100 times today because this throw is spectacular. Right up the seam, perfect. Will Kazmarek catches it in stride, and he rumbles, stumbles, fumbles into the end zone. Bang! Great play, great throw by Julian, great recognition, great timing, great everything there by Julian Sayin. A great start, 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the football game. Ohio State's on the board. Now, flipping it over to the defense. Okay, defense gives up 1 first down, and then on 3rd down, this was one that, you know, it's not a game-changing play by any means, but I think Grambling misses one, but Lorenzo Styles makes an awesome athletic play here. So Ohio State's outnumbered. All right. So on 3rd downs, they try to do this exotic stuff because they can, right? They showed it against Texas. They confused Arched a lot. But you see a linebacker here. I believe this is Arvell, and you see him mugging the center, get the attention of the quarterback here, and then the blitz is coming from the top. You got Caleb buzzing, you got Sonny buzzing from the top there. So there's your blitz. Okay. Now, Ohio State's outnumbered in this set because this is now a 4x1 set, right? We have quads now to the bottom of our screen. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got 4 guys there, 1 guy to the top. Now, to defend this, Ohio State has 3 guys, okay? Because they're bringing 2 off this edge. Caden Curry's going to drop out into coverage, and now this is what your coverage looks like. So I guess it is 4-on-4, all right, with the defensive end. Now, Grambling actually does a really good job. They have a really good route concept up where this crosser is going to take Arvell, and then they're going to have a spot concept come in here. You're going to get kind of a wheel route, kind of a blocking route, and then your running back is into the flat here, okay? Now, you're going to see this picture. If this quarterback's back, he feels pressure, right? He feels that there's pressure because he sees 2 blitzers. However, Grambling does a nice job of picking this up, right? He's blocked up. Actually, kind of blocked up, kind of not. They stuffed 2 guys into 1 gap, but there's time here. And Ohio State really is only bringing 5 guys. So really, Grambling should be able to block this up. This quarterback sticks in the pocket and he delivers a shot right here. Grambling's moving the sticks. Instead, that pressure that Ohio State created just by messing with his eyes forced him to throw this, throw the swing route, throw the flare, and then Lorenzo Styles rallies, makes an awesome tackle, forces a punt. Now, the beautiful thing here, we flip this thing around, and you get Jeremiah Smith action. This is the 2nd longest pass play in program history, the 3rd longest play from scrimmage in Ohio State program history. There's my note up top. Sick. Awesome. All right, again, where did I say the big difference was? It's on the offensive line, okay? Just no pressure, right? No pressure at all. This is where, in these types of matchup games, where the biggest difference is. Now, what Julian's able to do is go through an entire read. Jeremiah is the last guy he looks at, okay? He starts up at the top of your screen where you're going to see Jelani get into the flat. I believe Carnell is on some kind of in-cut. Jelani's out like this, and then you get like a stick concept down to the flat, all right? I believe this is Max. Max Clare chips, and then he gets into the flat, and now Jeremiah is just on a go. Okay, from the start of this, right? Ohio State got him last time when they were in cover 2. They're going to get him again in cover 2 because this corner is going to be responsible for the flat. The safety here is responsible for the deep half. Now, when you play in the SWAC conference, you don't have to get crazy depth. Okay, when you play in the SWAC conference, you can get your cover 2 depth at 10, 15 yards. When you're playing Jeremiah Smith, you need to get your ass back to 20, 30 yards above number 4. And you're going to see him take a flat route. It's going to break your screen right here. But when the tight end gets into the flat, the corner's going to fly up, and Julian's able to sit back there. And there's your safety, right? Your safety is right here. And Jeremiah is at the 40-yard line. Jeremiah is at the start of this picture, 3 yards of separation. In real time, it might as well be 1,000,000 yards of separation because, the saying goes, if he's even, he's leaving, right? And he's certainly even and beyond some there. I mean, the route the safety takes, like, this is going to be a tough one, right? Tough one in film because, like, this is one that's like, yeah, Jeremiah gets an 87-yard touchdown. You don't have to do anything special. He just ran straight and, just a bad angle, poor defense there by the Grambling safety. Ohio State takes advantage. A perfect throw by Julian, right? There's a nice, quick little 14-second drive. So at this point in the game, Julian was 5 for 5 for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns, like 2 minutes before 6 minutes of football were played. So Buckeyes were off and rolling here, and they just continue the onslaught. All right, 3rd drive of the football game for Ohio State. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Let's keep it pushing. James Peoples was a guy that I identified yesterday as somebody I had my eye on, and he showed up. I actually had a really nice game and excited about what he was able to do because we're going to have a conversation about the running back room. But James Peoples on the day, 8 carries for 59 yards. He had a long of 12. He had a 12-yard carry. This might be it. Yeah, I think this is it right here. This is his longest carry of the game. But he looked explosive. He showed that when he gets into the hole, he's got a little juice to him. But what I really love is up front, right? We talked about getting to the point of contact with bad intentions, right? Good job here with the seal. Good double team here creating this hole. Like, you could drive a car through here, and now everybody else, you got Taggart getting up to the 2nd level with bad intentions here. You got, believe this is Jelani right here coming off the edge and just moving cats, just moving dudes. There's a freaking pile of human beings right there. Number 9, not happy, but a good run by James Peoples to get things going. And now, beautiful play action. So what Ohio State's seen to this point is cover 2, or a lot of cover 2. What I really like about this is Julian has got great odds. Excuse me. Now this shouldn't surprise him, right? This is a very clear middle of the field closed look. All right, there's one high safety, and we know, and especially you know it through any scouted looks, but you know when there's a one high safety, you're getting 3. And Ohio State gets cover 3 here. So in cover 3, there's your coverage, right? These your 2 corners and your safety are responsible for deep thirds. Then your outside man, this is like your safety. They kind of call it a star player sometimes. He's responsible for the curl to flat. There's your flat defender there, and then you got hook and hook. Okay, so here's what a cover 3 looks like. Now, we're going to use play action to drive up to get eyes here. So that play action brings this linebacker up, vacates this area. Guess what? Ohio State's going to attack this area. All right, so what this route concept is for the Buckeyes is you're going to get a crosser over here, and then you're going to get a width seam, right? You're going to get that look right here, and then you're going to get Jeremiah here. Okay, what this does is stresses the safety and this overhang defender, this corner, because now this safety's got to choose, right? If this safety chooses Jelani on the crosser, guess what opens up? This seam route here. And when the seam route here opens up, if this overhang chooses to cover this, guess what's up? This takes a big boy throw now. And that's not saying that's an easy one. Opposite hash, got to throw that thing about 60, 70 yards to get it where it needs to go. But that's kind of the look there. Now, if this safety gets depth, guess what? You just bang this over or this crosser route and you move. So watch this. Use a little play action. Bang. Set your feet. Safety. What did I say? Safety's getting depth. Julian knows literally right now. He's like, I'm ripping this thing to Jelani, right? Stays patient. Jelani clears. Bang. Right in the hole. Great throw, great catch, great timing. Could even be a little bit quicker, but really nicely done there by Julian. Now, Ohio State's trying to get in their bag just a little bit. Okay, you're going to get some misdirection here. They were trying for a big play, and actually the intent here was to go to James Peoples off of the play action. All right, so what you're going to get is you're going to get a wide zone fake, and then Julian to kind of do this half roll. Okay, and you're going to get all action going this direction. Okay, I'm going to undo those because it's going to get confusing. Jelani's going to come across the screen, and you're going to get this action up here, this action up here. All right, and then the goal here is to sneak, and this is called a sneaky route. It's to sneak the running back up the sidelines for him to be forgotten about and throw a touchdown. But the good part is you bring some help in, and on the backside, you have a crosser, shallow cross, sit route, whatever it may be. So you'll see it here. Here he goes. There's Julian. Everything's going right. Everything's going right. Watch him set his feet. Boom. He sets his feet. He wants to throw this for a touchdown, right? He's like thinking, nope, I want touchdown. Must be covered up. He stops, resets, and then bang. There's Max Clare. Beautifully done. Beautifully done for a couple of reasons here, okay? First, the decision to not throw that deep ball is awesome, right? And then second, what's really, really, really good, and we're going to see an example of this later, is that when you're in zone and you're on these shallow crosses, these overs, these dovers, you have the ability, if someone's in front of you, to shut it down, right? Max Clare, veteran guy, has played this boatload of football. He shuts it down. Julian, little high. I don't like how high this is. I don't want my guy to jump, but he does such a good job. We talk about placement, right? You want to get this on his left shoulder, okay? If you throw this out here, he's getting freaking crushed, and we're going to see one of those in a little bit. But he throws it on his inside shoulder. Tight end catches it and is able to turn with the football and gets up the field, breaks the tackle. If he doesn't have that ball on that side, he's not able to break that tackle. Really well done by Julian. That shows the trust that these coaches have in him to make the right decision. And then also, too, when he does make the right decision, to make it accurately. All right, let's finish this thing off. Let's get Carnell Tate in the party. This ball, man, that's awesome work. That's awesome work. You're just getting straight verts right here. This is a very interesting call here at the 9-yard or at the 12-yard, whatever they are, 13-yard line. You're just getting verts, all right? You're getting 4 verts. And when you get these verts, your slot guys have the ability to bend. These are called seam benders. so they can bend inside of their defenders, and then on the outside, you just go, and then down here, you're just a go, right? And what did I say? It's blocked up, right? They bring pressure. They're bringing 6 dudes. Ohio State's blocked it up. Julian's got nothing in his face. He rips a shot in there. This is a cool picture right here. That's pretty cool. Carnell's awesome. I love Carnell Tate. Just a dude, just like catches everything. We're going to see another one here in just a moment, but catches everything, does everything right, blocks, and then dances a little bit. I cut it off before the dance, but it was pretty cool. All right, Buckeyes offense is rolling. You feel super good about it. Julian's completed 10 straight passes. We'll get to that there in just a moment. But we flip it back to the defensive side. And one of the things that I thought before the game was important was Ohio State's run defense. Okay, it was important to improve the run defense. You saw spurts of it, but like this type of stuff shouldn't be happening against Ohio State when you're playing Grambling. But Grambling does catch the Buckeyes in an add-on blitz here. So you got 3 guys. This is called a bear front. When you're in a bear front, everything's mugged up. All right, so you got over the center, over the guard. That's actually in the B gap. And then you got your 2 ends here. So you got 5 down, you got 1 linebacker. And Ohio State actually adds on here. Lorenzo comes flying off the edge. Everybody comes. When you do that and you only have 1 linebacker in the middle of the field, it makes it really tough because when they get to that second level, 74 does a nice job getting to that second level. They basically said, screw these 2 guys. Like, don't even worry about him and him because we're hitting. Our point of attack is in here. Don't even need to worry about 1 and 2. Let's just get to that second level. This linebacker is actually more dangerous than the 2 blitzers there. They do a nice job of it, but like just something here. Like, let's get off these blocks, make that tackle, make that tackle, make that tackle. Caleb always makes that tackle, but wasn't even him. Anyway, don't love that. And then here you go here on 4th and 1, very clearly. Just not what you want here. All right, they get back to their even front. You got 4 down linemen, 2 backers. And, like, you see 55 get to, I believe this is Sonny. You see the center get here. Like, I don't want to see this. Like, this shouldn't happen. We shouldn't be getting stuffed up. That's Arvell. We shouldn't be getting stuffed up right like that. You know, he needs to be free and making a play. And then we got to make this tackle. Like, fine, they get the first down. They're getting the first down. Make this tackle. Got to make this tackle. Don't let those 3-yard runs turn into 6-yard runs, turn into 19-yard runs, which was what that one was. Now, I'm not going to sit here and sound the alarm, right? Grambling rushed for, well, they did rush for 112 yards, so it's not your best, right? On 33 carries, that's a 2.8-yard average. That doesn't seem right at all. Oh no, their net was 94 yards, so that seems a little bit better. But their starting back Andre Cruz had 5 carries for 38 yards. There you see him there. His long was 19, so that's where he was there. And their second guy Trey Bradford, 7 carries for 23 yards. He's at a 2.9 yard per carry average. But you know, just like little stuff like this just shouldn't be happening against Grambling. So a little bit later on, here we go down in the red area. Now this for me is what the Ohio State defense, like how this scares you, because all right, I'm going to quarterback mode here. I'm pretending I'm saving to set right here, which, you know, truthfully, I thought he, you know, just battled. All Grambling State battled. And I do think that it is commendable for that for sure. You know, Ryan Day talked about that, how they did continue to fight. But when I'm sitting here as a quarterback, right, it's 3rd and 9. I want to score. I also want to protect the football. Okay. I am saying this is some kind of a zone look, right? I have man posture here, right? This looks like man to me, but this guy's eyes are on me. 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 Every time Ohio State's mugged up front, they've dropped out in some way, shape, or form. So I'm thinking, if I'm this quarterback, which I think this is what he's thinking, is I'm going to get some kind of 2. Like, this safety's going to fly out. This safety's going to fly out. He's flying down. He'll fly, and then he'll buzz the flat. So my throw in the theory is in this what's called the dead zone, right? You're going to see Grambling run what's called a stick concept, right? So you're up the edge there with a fade route, and then you got a flat route here and then a stick route. When you read this corner, you read the flat defender. So you're going to see Tissette look right away, and he's thinking, he kind of predetermines this throw, right? He's like, I know I got zone. I'm throwing this thing up into the dead zone area in between the safety and the corner. I'm going to move the sticks. Well, instead of it being zone, it's just straight man, like straight man. It's man everywhere. Bang. They match here. We match. And Davison Igbinosun's been awesome so far through 2 weeks. He just presses his guy out of bounds, and it's nothing. I just wanted to show this because this is what, when Ohio State gets to showing these looks week after week, and now they create tendencies. When you create tendencies, you break those tendencies. So now when teams are looking at this film, they're like, all right, when they mug it up, it don't mean anything. It could be zone, it could be man, and you got to read that post-snap, right? The post-snap picture's got to match the pre-snap idea. Problem is, when you got these cats rushing the quarterback, man, that's a hard thing to do for a quarterback. He's not going to have a whole heck of a lot of time. Ohio State brings 3 on 3rd and 9 from the 19-yard line. They bring 3, they drop 8, and four of those dudes are in man coverage. The rest of the other 4 are zoning off and looking at you. So it's really tough coverage. A good job of mixing up the Tissett's eyes and showing him one thing pre-snap and getting to something else post-snap. So they ended up missing that field goal. It wasn't great. Wasn't a great kick by their kicker. They miss it, turn the ball back over to the Buckeyes, and here they go. C.J. Donaldson gets things going. Again, run game. Let's get to the point of attack with violence, right? There you go. Bang. Max Clare. Inserts here. Really nice job, right? This is good. The tackle wins over top, and then Clare inserts. Sorry about that. Inserts back in. Oh boy. Son of a gun. I'm gonna unshare this. Let's get us reset. Let's get us reset here. I don't know what the heck happened. Well, let's reset things. Bear with me. We'll be back here in just a second. All right. Nice run by CJ was the caption. All right, we are back. Let's add us back to the screen. And let's keep it pushing. Let's use this time as a reminder. See that QR code up in the top? We're going to switch it around, flip it around. Hit that QR code. Go to our new site, Buckeye Roundtable, and start following my content directly. So here we go. Nice run by CJ. Insert there by Max Clare. He gets number 7 with some good intentions. Ohio State's offensive line moving, dude. CJ, nice run. Not perfect, but nice run here. All right, we showed a little bit of orbit motion earlier, okay? Showed some orbit motion. We're going to show it again. We're going to show it again, and this time we're going to throw off it. So we're going to fake that reverse, and we're going to set back again. Look at this. I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream when there's no pressure. And what's also a dream is throwing to number 17. This cat's unbelievable. Not a perfect throw by any means. You throw this thing, if Julian throws this sucker like here, this is 6. He kind of leads him up the field a little bit into this defender. And Carnell does what Carnell does, makes an awesome catch, and moves the sticks. Love Carnell Tate, man. It's just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, the note here is we'll take it. We'll take it. For sure, we'll take it. You're going to cat blitz the Buckeyes. I wouldn't cat blitz off of Jeremiah. Like, I'm like, hey, audible. If we got a cat on. And also, too, you got to tell your safety that the cat blitz is on because they just, hey, Jeremiah, nobody's covering him. Like, nobody. Like, if there's one guy on the field, and this isn't me to rag, something's wrong here because looks to me like we're getting some kind of, like, 3 look, and then this corner is like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out, dog. I'm in. And I'm just going to leave number 4 wide open in the end zone. 5 catches for Jeremiah, 119 yards, 2 scores. It's funny. This is the 119 yards is his 6th time eclipsing 100 yards in his career. His high was that Rose Bowl. He had 187 yards against Oregon. That'll be tough to top, but this 119 yards is actually tied for 2nd in what's like a mirror image of last year. Last year, week 2 against Central Michigan, he had 5 catches for 119 yards and 1 score. So, like, the same game, right? It's the same. He had 5 catches for 119 yards and 2 scores yesterday, but really nicely done. If they're going to let number 4 walk scot-free, we're going to take it. Absolutely. All right, here we go. We're going to start seeing some younger guys here as we flip it over. This dude right here, next up on the Ohio State defense. If you don't know the name Riley Pettyjohn, you're going to get to know it here very quickly. And he showed that yesterday, again, not going to say he was playing the Alabama Crimson Tide or whomever, insert whoever, but showed that he can get it done. And you'll see it here. really good job of flowing to the football and finishing dudes. This is going to be a guy who's going to look the part when he stands next to when he stands next to Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese here in a couple weeks. All right, this is just disgusting work here by Caleb Downs. I hate being hyperbolic in these situations. We see these clips go on social media, and you're like, guys will freak out. But like, this is mean and unfair and cruel and unusual punishment by Matt Patricia and by Caleb Downs. So what did we just see a little bit ago? Ohio State mugged it up on 3rd down, 3rd and 8. It was 3rd and 9 just a second ago when they ran that stick concept. It looked exactly the same. They had Caleb and the linebacker. This is Pettyjohn. This is Caleb. Walked up, and I'm thinking, hey, I got man last time. I might get man again, man under, right, where they had those guys drop out. This is disgusting. Okay, we're just going to play this through, and then we'll explain it here at the top. Sonny is kind of floating around. Caleb fakes a blitz, and then, this is uncool, man. He fakes a blitz. He's going to come inside. He's too athletic to just do that. He's going to fall out and intercept this football. However, what I think is more important and cooler is that because he fakes this blitz, right, he's very clearly identified on the offensive line. When you hear quarterbacks call out the mic, right, hey, Mike, 20's the mic, 20's the mic, 20's the mic. What does that mean? Okay, 0's the mic. What does that mean? That means that's who the running back, or that's where the offensive line is going to set their protection. So however they communicated this, the Grambling offensive line determined that, hey, we're going to go man up, right? It's 5-on-5. It's 5-on-5 in the box, okay? We're going to go 1-for-1, 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 and 1-for-1. Everybody's on a solo block, and this running back, you're responsible. I don't know what this route is for them. Typically in this scenario, hey, you're checking this protection, and then you're getting out into your route. I don't know if that's the case because this running back just flies out. However, nobody on the offensive line is responsible for number 0. Number 0, very good player. But watch out. Watch Pettyjohn and Caleb Downs. They both fake the blitz. They both go in. Both of their guys, both of the guards go to engage. Watch. He goes to engage. Caleb drops out. This guard's like, oh, shit. He looks to his right, and Sonny Styles is bearing down on his quarterback. Meanwhile, the quarterback thinks, oh, I'm hot. Right? I am hot. What hot means? Okay, everybody's coming. Right. My eyes are telling me Caleb Downs is coming. Now I see this blitzer coming. This blitzer is vacating this part of the field. Great. What do I have as a quarterback? I have a slant going into this part of the field. I'm going to throw the ball to this part of the field. Guess what Ohio State does? I'm going to drop a guy into this part of the field. When all those things happen, an interception occurs. It is just sick stuff by Matt Patricia, and he can do that because he's got 3 NFL players playing at that level, and Caleb Downs is the best player in the country, and it shows right there that, hey, they're able to confuse the offensive line, confuse the quarterback, and then drop into the exact spot that the quarterback thinks is going to be wide open. Unfair stuff, and you can do that when you have number 2 on your team. So Ohio State turns it back over. Everything's been perfect for Julian to this point. Been great. You can see his stat line. Like when I say perfect, like legit perfect, right? Look down here. 15 for 15, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. He actually breaks the consecutive pass record on this play to Carnell Tate. He goes 16 straight completions, breaks Will Howard's 15 straight record. But what I want to say on this play is just like awesome compete by Grambling. Like I hate this hit as an Ohio State guy. Like I don't want Carnell taking this hit, but like this is tough, man. Carnell Tate's going to be a first-round draft pick. This cornerback's going to be selling insurance here in a couple weeks, and he don't care, right? He's going to stick his nose in there and go. Like, hey, I'm here to compete, man, and I'm going to take you down. I don't care who you are, what you do. I'm going to compete, and I appreciated that out of Grambling. You saw that all over the tape. All right, here we go. The interception. Okay, this is a tough look. Okay, when you're down here in the red area, you know what you're getting, right? You're getting man and potentially like zone it off. So what I called this would be I'd call this under, and this, in my terminology, this would be the H back, or the T, or I guess the F. This is the F in this scenario. We'd call this under F out or under F minus, where here's the under route where he's going to pick this guy, and then number 1's coming in on the under. And then instead of just continuing straight, you're going to see Carnell bust this off and then head to the pylon. Okay. This is a hard throw now. You're on the opposite hash. You're throwing to that corner. Just to mind you, it's 53 yards from sideline to sideline. You cut it down into a third. You're looking at 30 yards from, well, third of 53 is 25 is a half. So you're looking at, at least 30 yards getting it over just to the sidelines and then 10 yards up the field. Like, this is a big boy throw now, and you got to be on time. So we'll let this play through. You'll see the route concept. Probably could have fit it in there to Jeremiah. Like, I don't love – this is really hard. I hated this route. I hated throwing this route because the one guy who can get in your way is this one right here. Okay, if he starts to get width, he gets into this throwing area. In my opinion, what I would have done is I'd have flipped the running back over here. I'd have put the running back here and used just a token fake. Like, if you wanted to throw this, let's use a token fake to get this pooled in here to create a bigger window for our receiver. If you do that, great. If not, whatever. But it's just a straight drop, and you can see this linebacker like closing the window, closing it. He still should throw this football. Like, this is kind of still a no-brainer. Like, throw this thing right on the hash and we're winning. But that window is a little bit tighter. Now he decides right here, I'm throwing to Carnell. This ball has to be flying now. Like, it has to be in the air right now, because not only are you coming downhill, but so is this corner, and this corner can cut this off. So this ball is just a little bit late, a little bit inside, not even inside. Like, it's just late. And the corner makes a nice play. This is a learning one for Julian, and also a learning one for your coaching staff. Like, hey, flip the running back over. Let's use play action. Let's throw it to Jeremiah for a touchdown. And if not, be on time, be on target. Ultimately, do not turn the football over down in the low red area. Okay, so flips it back over to Grambling. Now, Grambling's trying to put something together before half. We'll see if they can. We'll see if they can't. But one guy I want to just focus on here, called him out in the – not call out's the wrong word, but like I said, challenged, that wanted to see a little bit out of Bo Atkinson, the transfer from North Carolina. Finished the day yesterday with no production on the defensive side of the football. Now, that's with a grain of salt. You only play a little bit in these types of games. I don't know his snap count, but 0 tackles, 0 TFL, zero sacks on the day. And it's just like stuff like this against an inferior opponent, which just can't happen. Like, we're just straight up, like, everybody. It's Bo. It's everybody else. Like, they shouldn't be blocking our guys. Like, Ohio State should be getting pressure against Grambling. Certainly shouldn't be getting hip tossed, right, and tackled. All right, I take that part back. That's just a hip toss tackle, which that'll happen. I don't care who you are. If you're playing Pee Wee football, that'll happen. But more so like, hey, we got to start getting some action here from your defensive lineman. So again, same look, right? 3rd down, 3rd and 7. I could tell you what down it is just based off of the look that Ohio State's getting. So here's Caleb. Here's your linebacker. Guess what we're going to get? Fake blitz, and then we're dropping out. We're going to get a drop here, and then Ohio State playing kind of a match, right? Actually, no, this is just like straight man, right? Man under. You got Caleb Robin in here, which is disgusting behavior. I don't even know who's who. Like, because this is Caleb Downs out here. I mean, they can play him anywhere. It's chaos. You 2 linebackers. Regardless, not sure the personnel. What I do know is that they match up, right? We get man, you get 1 high, and then you get a dropping. You get a dropper into the middle of the field, and you get four people pressuring. You get 7 guys dropping into coverage. All of them are manned up with two spies. But a really nice route here. Ohio State does get lucky. Lorenzo does get beat inside. And this is just a drop, right? This is one you see that, if you're playing NCAA 26, this pisses you off. You're like, hey, this doesn't happen in real life, but it does. Good route by the kid, good throw by Tissette, and just one of those that just sucks if you're Grambling. Flips it back over to Ohio State, and the Buckeyes stay rolling here. This time they do it on the ground. James Peoples, you can kind of just see the difference in speed when Donaldson runs and Peoples runs. And, like, I want to be very clear. Like, Donaldson is just as advertised. Like, this isn't a guy who we're expecting to be a 4.3 speed or expecting to be this home run dude. He is kind of that punch, right? That jab where he's a big dude. He hits the hole with bad intentions. He's going to make you earn it, make you pay for it. And that's exactly who he is. But People's got a little juice to him. He's got a little shit to him. And you see it here. as he just kind of explodes through the hole. Nice run. And then you see Donaldson here, right? It just looks a little bit different, right? No second or third gear. Like, this needs to be a touchdown. Like, I just imagine in my head, this is Travion Henderson, right? I see 32 going right now and like hitting that thing, dropping the clutch, throwing that thing into 4 and hitting the sidelines and scoring, right? It's just, gets caught up here. Just like you need a little bit more from your guy. So 35-0 at halftime. And now we flip it over to the to the young cats, right? We're going to flip it to the young guys here, and we're going to take this time to remind you. Let's look at the top of our screen. I'm going to flip this back and forth. Hit that QR code. You're going to go to Roundtable, Buckeye Roundtable. That's our new page. See it below on the ticker. We are no longer Ohio State Buckeyes on SI. We are Buckeyes Roundtable. A new site for us, more interactive, really exciting for me and for our entire team. So jump over there and go check us out. So, all right, back to the second half of football. Ideal start for the Buckeyes. Nightmare start for Grambling. Like, Grambling, you come out of half like, hey, let's go put a point on the board. Like, that's your goal. Let's score today. And we're going to get it going on the run, right? We're going to get things going, run the football. We did it okay in the first half. What we didn't expect was a fumble and then Riley Pettyjohn to scoop it and take it to the crib. Awesome for Riley. Tough for Grambling, man. Just a tough scene there. A nice tackle inside. Good play. And the Buckeyes score. So immediately they don't even accept the kick, or they don't even get the ball first, but they score within 10 seconds of the half starting. And so now we flip it back to the offensive side of the ball. Things are rolling, and we get our first look at Lincoln Kienholz this season. Now, hand up, I'm a big Lincoln Kienholz fan. I've talked about it a bunch. I thought he was going to be the starter for this team. I was like, hey, I didn't, when they got week deep into training camp and they still hadn't determined or publicly determined who the starter was, I was like, oh, Lincoln's got a chance, and love his athleticism, truly do. But obviously, Julian Sayin's playing lights out right now, and you can see all the reasons why you love Julian at quarterback. But fun to see what Lincoln can bring to the table. So I want to go back to that play where that sneaky route where it was up the sidelines, and then Max Clare kind of sat in that zone. You're going to see something similar here, and I hinted at this exact play, and this is kind of a rookie-ish mistake and something that the Buckeyes are going to learn from to improve. So this is Noah Rogers here in the slot, and very clear up top. We got a full field concept. So this is one where you can sweep across the field. Your first and second options are up here, and then you flip it back to this drag route. Now, what did I say earlier? When you're running these overs and these drag routes, if you get zone, you have the ability to shut it down. What do I mean by shut it down? If Noah Rogers stops right here, bang, just is big to the quarterback, shows the 1 and the 3 to the quarterback right here. He protects himself from this. Boom. Like, that's a big hit. That's not one you want. But what he does is he's running this like it's man coverage. Like, he's running this like he's got a trailing guy. He needs to know that, hey, I'm getting very clear zone. Like, once he sees – watch this linebacker. Like, if I'm Rodgers and the snap of the ball and this linebacker flies out, I'm immediately thinking, I'm getting to the hash and I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down right here. Bang. Shut it down right here, and Lincoln will put it on me. Now, Lincoln, you can see him. You watch where this ball hits. This ball hits on that inside. Look at Rodgers have to turn to catch his football. Lincoln saying, dude, stop running. Like, stop running. He's saying that with his pass. But Rodgers continues forward and gets thumped there. Just a learning thing, something that they're going to learn from and move on. This one for all the kids at home, all the parents at home, stay on your feet, man. Jumping's for track and field. Like, stay on your feet. This thing hurts, dude. Like, I don't love this. But James Peoples trying to make a play, trying to be explosive. I say it jokingly, guys jump over dudes a little bit. I never had the ability, obviously, to do that, but stay on your feet. You're going to get yourself hurt that way. I don't like you grabbing your knee on that one. All right. I have this love-hate relationship with RPOs. This is a very clear RPO. All right. This is one where Buckeyes have a run play up. Okay. They got an inside zone up to the top. You got Bo Jackson. We're going to get to Bo here in a little bit. And then the quarterback is reading one guy, okay? He's reading, you can guess, he's reading this guy. If this guy drops into coverage or sticks on this receiver, he's handing it off because Ohio State's got numbers. We got 6 in the box, 6-4, 6-5. Honestly, this should be a run. You should just handed it off just in general. We got numbers inside, and then you got your running back, BYOB, bring your own block. Instead, he does his job. He reads the guy, bang. This guy blitzes. He adds on. You can see his eyes looking this way, and then quickly resets his feet and rips one up the field. Bang. Good throw, good catch. Love-hate relationship. Let's get to it. This should be a penalty, okay? You get 3 yards. Maybe I'm wrong. You get 3 yards to run this, right? Here's the line of scrimmage. We got 1, 2, and 3. Man, by the letter of the law, that's probably a penalty, but it's closer than I thought. RPOs are tough because what's a linebacker supposed to do? He's getting guys who are firing out at him. He's not dropping in the coverage. I just think it's hard. Sometimes they get egregious, but that one wasn't as bad. You get 3 yards. Ohio State was within 3 yards, give or take a couple steps. All right, baby. Bo knows. Here we go. Bo Jackson into the end zone. Cleveland kid. Cleveland stand up. Villa Angela St. Joe's was a stud in high school, obviously, and got a heck of a compliment yesterday. Jeremiah Smith was asked about Bo and was like, yeah, he's next up. I worked out with him in the summer, he said. And he's like, yeah, he's different. He's going to be the next great one, Jeremiah said. And it was awesome to see him burst onto the scene yesterday. And I wrote it yesterday, like, he's going to put his name in the conversation to be getting real reps, not reps against the, third and fourth and fifth stringers, but like real reps because the Ohio State running back room could use a little juice. All right. Guess who? Riley Pettyjohn. There he is right here. Watch this. Get to the ball, be a linebacker, get to the ball with bad intentions. Bang. Come on. Finish through the ground. Like, look up like textbook tackle in the dictionary. You're seeing this play. Head up in the hole. I'm meeting you at the line of scrimmage. Who's tougher, me or you? I'm picking you up. I'm driving you backwards, and I'm finishing you into the ground. Unbelievable play. I believe a buddy of mine texted and said, Riley Pettyjohn just takes his head and runs it through cement every time he sees the football, which hard to argue. Hard to argue that there. Okay, back to the offensive side of the ball. We're going to flip through these a little bit. Moeglin Graham sighting. Good to see him. Shifty, man. I'll tell you what. Former quarterback here would have loved to play quarterback for Ohio State at any point in time, right? You throw a hitch route and a 4-yard throw turns into a 25-yard gain. Not all that bad when you're throwing to just 5 stars all over the field. All right, more Bo Callahan. What am I watching, a movie? More Bo Jackson. Good play, good design up front, good blocking. Bo Jackson, give me 15 more. Give me 15 more. Nice throw, nice catch. Let's get Jelani in the end zone. And let's get Lincoln. Shout out Lincoln here. Good play fake. Maybe a little too much on the acting. It's a little bit much. But Jelani in the back of the end zone. Good. And let's ballerina. Hey, it's like 6 feet in there because of the ballerina steps. All right. Good job, Lincoln. Tavian St. Clair got his first action as an Ohio State Buckeye. And this route's going to look familiar, right? We talked about this last week. Okay, what is this called? I'm sure everybody at home knows. Be able to drop it in the comment section when I start drawing it, right? Here we go. Over the ball, middle over the ball. We're going to get an outside curl, a curl on the outside. Let's get you in the flat. You got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. This is called Hank, right? This is the Hank route. What do? We read the squeeze of our linebackers. Linebacker gets out. Bang, he gets out. I know immediately, and so does Tavian. He just caught the snap. Not even his first step of his drop down. He knows where he's throwing it. 1, 2, 3. Let's eliminate that little hitch. This little hitch right there. This ball should just be out on that 5th step. What I would say here, this is actually like perfect teach tape right here. We're just a touch wide, okay? Just a touch wide. Let's keep your feet shoulder width apart so that, hey, when I hit that back foot, I'm ready to throw, right? You can kind of see that he has to take that little shuffle step. Doesn't hurt him here. Not necessarily going to hurt him in the future, but you get that ball on him just a little bit quicker. You never know. And if that's somebody else, you also never know. All right. More Bo. Got to score here. Again, I talked about, I just envisioned Travion Henderson right here, getting through the line of scrimmage, breaking this tackle and hitting the sidelines and just go. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Don't get hit that hard by a corner either. Anyway, good run there by Bo. and then Bo punches it in. This is a nice little – I put this on. Whoop, nice little juke move there. And Bo knows. There's a flag, though, on this play. They punch it in one more time. Who gets it in there? Sam Dixon. Or no, it was Isaiah. Was it Isaiah West? Either Isaiah West or Sam Dixon. I think this one was Dixon's touchdown because they do call this back, and then Dixon punches it in from, I think it was like a 1 yard out. But all in all, right, this is Ohio State doing what Ohio State was supposed to do, right? They were supposed to go in there and take care of business against Grambling. They did that, and they showed a number of different ways that it looked really, really good. And it was exciting to see for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So next up for the Bucks, a fun night coming on Saturday. And I'm sure the group chats are firing up because the Ohio Bobcats are traveling to Ohio Stadium to play the Buckeyes. I don't think it's going to be a close game, but the Bobcats are trying to make a name for themselves. They take Rutgers to the edge in week 1 out in Piscataway, really gave them everything they wanted. And then they welcomed in, if you haven't seen this, you should just go look it up because they welcomed in West Virginia to Athens yesterday, sold the stadium out. Awesome, really cool, first of all, by West Virginia to do a home and home with that because typically you get the big school and the MAC school, and the MAC schools are always traveling, whatever. But they're never doing it again because Ohio beat them 17-10, and did so in a really good way. So the Bobcats are feeling good about themselves. But beyond that, I'm sure it's going to be a ridiculous atmosphere. I've heard through the grapevine that Ohio Bobcats like to have a good time. They like to party. I wouldn't know, but it should be a ton of fun coming next Saturday. But coming for us, tons of content coming your way. Like I said, new platform for us, Roundtable or Buckeyes Roundtable. It's linked right in that QR code. Super simple. Scan that QR code or go to roundtable.io/sports/NCAA/Ohio State. That's a little bit of a mouthful. Just Google search Buckeye Roundtable, and you'll get there. Tons of ways to get there. Download the app if you want, but just follow along. I love doing content just like this. I hope you guys can feel that and see that for those who follow along with us. And always, truly from me, love that you make me part of me and our team part of your Ohio State stop. Right? You have so many places to get content. And really appreciate that you choose me to spend some time with. So if you've made it this far in the video, God bless you, right? Fill up your coffee again and enjoy the rest of the day because we've got NFL football. That deserves a round of applause. We got NFL football today. I cannot wait. There's Buckeyes littered throughout the NFL, and we're gonna have so much content coming to you on Roundtable. We got I got a stock up, stock down story coming your way. I've got Buckeyes in the NFL. We got so much more, and we're gonna be in the community section all the time. Dropping in trends, dropping in different stories left and right. So really excited to be sharing that all with you. So please join me there. And we're going to be filling you up with content all week long. So I'm going to get out of here on that. I need to go take a cough drop and drink some more water, maybe some tea to get my voice back because we got Browns football today. I'm a Clevelander, big Browns fan. Also, if you're a Browns fan, I do very similar content and coverage for the Cleveland Browns. So jump over there too. But this is not the Browns channel. All right, I'm getting out of there on that. I'm talking way too much. But thanks again for hanging out with me, making me a part of your Sunday morning, making Ohio State, Buckeyes Roundtable a part of your Ohio State content. Have a great Sunday, everybody. And we'll catch you next week here on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel.